record.
I'm just waiting for the go live to pop up on my thing.
Coder. And you are good to go.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Tales from the Barside. I'm your host, Remy. This is my co-host, Lauren.
Hi.
Sitting right next to her is our good friend, Andy. What's happening, Andy?
Hey-o.
I think I should have changed your name on there today so that we could have had Lauren and Andy, but that's okay.
I know.
We'll just
I don't know how to do that still. I'm not very computer savvy, so.
Oh, all good. And if you can't tell by my background and my garb, it's opening day for baseball in Detroit, which, yeah, basically means nothing this year. It's so freaking weird, though, to have opening day this late in the year with no crowds and no booze. Like,
I didn't even know it was opening day, to be completely honest.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, really? They're still doing it? Like, does anybody care?
It's like months and months later, so.
It is, but it's nothing like what it should be. It's supposed to be a big party, an all-day celebration, a chance for bartenders to make tons and tons and oodles of cash.
Tons of money.
And none of that is happening this year, so sucks. But we're going to talk about some other kind of games. Hey, that's why we've got Andy on.
Yes!
Yeah. Drinking game
Drinking
master.
games.
Everybody's
I'm so excited for this because we tried to do this once before, and then we kind of like ended up talking about like COVID and stuff, and we're going to point in this episode to just talk about fucking drinking games and how much fun we have and how drunk we get.
One of the first times I met you, Andy, we were playing a drinking game.
Oh my God.
And nudity was involved. I'm sure we'll talk about it later on.
All right, so do you consider Power Hour a drinking game, or is that a drinking activity?
I mean, to me it was a drinking game. It was a drinking event. It wasn't like, I mean, there was a challenge involved, so that's why I call it a drinking game. It's like, to see if you can make it to the end and to see how naked you can get. As I recall, certain people bowed out. Some people didn't even. Some people just got drunk.
I did not participate.
Yeah, you were not getting nude that night.
She was getting sleepy.
I was getting sleepy, exactly.
You got sleepy. Right. You're like, I'm just gonna take a nap.
All of that bullshit.
I got through some Z's is what I did.
But I managed to make it all the way to the end of the night and dropped trow right at the very, I forget what the last scene is in that, but it's basically the Disney Power Hour. And
well, maybe we should explain to people what Power Hour is exactly.
It would probably kind of help.
I like your thinking there, Lauren.
Go ahead.
All right, so to anybody who has never played Power Hour, it's a hell of a thing. You literally only have to take one sip of beer every minute. So it doesn't seem like you're doing too much, but by the end of that, you're feeling pretty good.
So it's like a video that you watch. It's like Disney songs, or it'll be like
songs
whatever you
from
want.
The 90s.
Anything it is. It's just 1 minute clips, and every time the song changes, you have to take a drink. So you can get pretty screwed up on that, especially if you do it like shots or Dave's chiming in.
So I've always heard this as the Century Club.
Okay.
Where the Century Club is a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for 100 minutes instead of 60 minutes.
Hence Century.
I don't know if I could get through 100 minutes.
Oh, it's
Or
not
100, yeah.
It's not easy, and it's not pretty, and it hurts. Was because you're like, oh, a shot full of beer, no big deal. But then you start doing math, and you're doing 100 ounces of beer in about an hour and a half, which is a little bit more than 8 12-ounce cans in an hour.
Too much.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's too much.
Thank you.
Yeah, at the end of 60,
music, though, it kind of like it gives you a little relief because you're like, oh, I like this song, yay! I'm drinking. And then the next song hits. So when you're doing like the Century Club and you're just every minute going for it, I've never done it with music or anything like that. We've just paid attention.
Right.
But I have tried that once, and I don't know if I made it. I don't believe I have.
Yeah, I don't think I would have made it. Getting to 60 was enough of a challenge for me. I was pretty buzzed by the time 60 rolled around. I was naked by the time 60 rolled around too, because that's the fun twist in your guys' version of the game, is that like randomly every 5 or 7 or 8 or 12 minutes, just at some point in time, you'll just start taking off items of clothes. as well as taking your drink.
If you miss a minute, does that mean that you have to take something off?
It didn't seem like there was any rules.
It's just kind of just every but that's like our friends just tend to just get naked like all the time.
I loved it. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I feel like one of the, I mean, it was like, you know, we hadn't really hung out too much other than doing our show together. And I was kind of being introduced to your group of friends for the first time, Lauren. It was like, well, this is right up my alley. These people are my kind of folks. Like, why is Andy taking off his shirt there? Why is Andy? Oh, okay, I get it.
To be fair, drinking games and being shirtless goes hand in hand with me.
I was about to say, I think shirtless Andy is always a thing. Like almost every party I've ever gone to, it's shirtless Andy time at some point in the night.
There you go.
So, over, it's probably gonna happen.
It'll probably be shirtless Andy time.
You get drunk and these clothes just become too confining, man. You gotta express yourself.
Right.
All right, so we got way too far into this. We should do a drinking game while we're talking about drinking games.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Pick a word, pick an action. I don't want to do the drinking with your, every time you gesture with your hands, because I got a story about that. But, yeah, what do you want to pick a word?
Do I want to pick a word?
Pick a word.
Pick a word. Radical.
Radical. No one's ever going to say
that. No, let's do
Okay, so if you go or
radical,
you have to take a drink.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you say what?
Probably.
I think we're gonna get along with this one. Did you catch that, Remy?
Fuck.
I didn't.
All right. Or getting caught up on your words.
Oh.
Take a drink.
Ah.
Not a shot. Just a drink.
I see. Just a drink.
About your story about getting in trouble with that.
Oh, we're going big. So I was on another podcast with the rest of our band, Dragsoft. It was for Ricky Rocks, who actually
good ear for that.
Good catch.
Such words.
We're doing this this podcast in downtown Mount Clemens. So they have a game that they were playing where bottle of Red Stag got brought out near the very end of it. Just like we're doing here, but the thing was every time you talked with your hands, you had to take a swig. Between about 4 or 5 people, we had that entire fifth gone in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that podcast went downhill quick. That specific episode. Like it started out, hey, talking about music, venues. Okay, I'm gesturing with my hands right now. So it
You actually have 2. You said one right at the beginning too.
It turned into an ordeal. And I ended up going over to Orleans in Mount Clemens to see one of my favorite bartenders ever. His name's Dave Bryant. And he would always get us fucked up. He would always do like these cherry bombs on special for like $3.
No.
But make like a double.
Yeah.
So we did shots with him. Went over to a Bebo. They gave me a Final Absolution in one of the big Boomba mugs.
Too much, man. Too much.
I ended up asleep in my roommate's car in the backseat, hoping that it was his car. Our guitar player, Dan Lyjak, ended up stumbling the tracks home going, I don't know how I made it home that night. I believe Schneider, our bass player, slept that one off in the Clem. So...
Oh yeah, that sounds like you guys got pretty messed up. I'm really bad at drinking games. I always forget the game part and just go straight to the drinking. And it ends up not being a good time for me at the end of it. By the time everyone else catches up, I'm kind of just already down.
Lauren, through my experience with you hanging out and drinking is it's like, you do a good job when you're maintaining and you're just like being social and not going crazy and not too many shots and not like getting hammered drunk. Like you do really good with just like social drinking, you know? As soon as it becomes too much, you're like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go pass out. Like I'm done. I'm over it. Like I'm not gonna last long.
Yep. I just
rage.
Take off though. I'm just like, it's okay. I'm out now.
I'm good.
I have no shame in taking a nap.
Right.
Remy, you owe us 4 drinks.
4 drinks, Remy.
4?
4.
I said and oh and that many times. Shit.
Actually, if you want to count those ones where you're asking about it.
No, I don't. Thanks.
So drunk by halfway through. We're only 8 minutes in and we're already tugging. So.
I'd have a beer.
Have you ever gotten so screwed up on a drinking game that it's ruined your life?
Oh, no, not my life. I mean, it's debatable whether or not alcohol has ruined my life. I don't think it has. That was 3. There's your 4th. No, I've definitely got annihilated drunk while playing drinking games, but I wouldn't say ruined my life.
So which drinking game do you think has gotten you the drunkest?
That's a good question. I like quarter bounce. It's always a fun one.
I'm terrible.
I was good at quarters. I was never good at the thumper game where you're like have to remember what everybody else was saying and play like the little beat at the same time. No, thumper always screwed me up.
So for everybody listening, thumper is this wonderful thing where you just, on your legs, you keep a beat, and everybody has their own symbol. Easy example, like moose ears or peace. And you just go around a circle, and there's no rhyme or reason. You just hit it, do your own symbol first, and then go to the next person. And you got to be keeping out looking for your symbol. And then if you screw up, you drink.
Yeah.
Which always ended up with me just drinking. Again, that's all that happens. I just drink.
Like,
I can't play beer pong. I can't, I'm not good at any drinking games. I just drink. I suck at the game part. Oh, well. Really, I'm winning, so.
Yeah, exactly. I've had some pretty good games of beer pong before. That's a fun one. I definitely like a little beer pong every now and again. The competition of it is cool, as long as it stays friendly. I had a friend who invited somebody over to their party, and this guy just wanted to be like a jerk to everybody and gloat and be all like, "Oh, I'm the baddest ass beer pong player in the world. Congratulations. You're a tool." Do you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't so much funny and joking anymore as it was he was just acting like a jerk. So that wasn't very much fun.
I had an instance where I came really close to that, but it's kind of funny. We would always do a huge St. Patrick's Day party every year. That was like the party that I threw on. My woman, Jordan, she made rum ham one year.
Nice.
Amazing. That got picked to the bone.
Yeah, all of that.
So we're playing, we did a beer pong tournament. And we put all the names on paper, picked them out of the hat so that you couldn't screw that up. And I cheated a little bit. I don't even know how. But my partner and I really wanted to be together, and it managed to happen. So at the end of the night, I am completely obliterated. I can't stand anymore. I'm literally just there for moral support. So I just have a ball, and I'm like, I missed. So our finals match turns out to be my friend Dabbles and myself, and we're Irish, against a British guy. And I can't remember who his partner was. And I'm just dead drunk, like glasses, I can't lose to the British on St. Patty's Day. And the heckling is the best part of beer pong to me. And the Brit has he's a good player. He's always been able to brush everything off, but my argument and how much conviction was behind my voice. To this day, he says that's one of the only times he's ever been rattled. And we ended up winning that game. There's pictures on my Facebook where we made, we took red Solo cups and spray painted them like silver or gold. Put them on wooden dowels from Michael's. We had trophies that year.
Very good. Yeah, it's a serious drinking game when somebody makes a trophy, even if it's just a terrible, half-ass Solo cup trophy. It's still that's a drinking game worth playing.
At our house, we had this beer pong shirt that a neighbor gave us, and we just decided, you know what? If you win 3 games in a row, you get to sign a shirt, you and your partner, with a date. We still have that shirt. It's signed completely front and back.
mementos of drinking games past. I like it.
Oh, heck
And
yeah.
you owe me 3 drinks too. I'm still keeping a score. I don't give a fuck what you guys do, but I'm still keeping a score in here.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game. It's
I
done.
just did it too, actually.
Oh, no, I can't work this cooler.
I'm gonna enjoy my beer.
So back in the day, I had this apartment over in Wixom, and before I found out that R. Kelly was like a total douchebag, I ended up having this party. It was a Trapped in the Closet party, and everyone had to come dressed up as Trapped in the Closet characters from like one of his songs. And we had a drinking game, and it was like every time that he mentions pulling out his gun or shooting somebody, you have to drink. Like every time that like a midget is in it, then you have to drink. Every time that they mention shitting themselves, you have to drink. So you'd get so drunk throughout it. He mentions pulling out his gun in every scene. Never shoots anybody, but pulls out his gun in every scene. And we watched the entire thing. It was pretty good.
That sounds hilarious. I didn't know that you used to live in Wixom. I used to live in Wixom too. Small world.
The village apartments.
Yeah, I lived in the ones like across the street from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when rent was $400 a month.
Cheap. But I love that area because like you're so close to the lake, you're so close to the river, you're close to Kensington, like It's all naturey and outdoorsy. And they've got a great library in Wixom too. It's a cool.
I've never been, but they had a nice Blockbuster back then.
There you go.
I don't want to talk too much about the drinking games that everybody knows. Everybody does know beer pong. Everybody knows flip cup, quarter bounce. What are some of like your guys' favorites? Like, do you prefer like to sit on a couch, watch a movie, come up with rules to that? Do you prefer drinking games that actually make you get up and move around? What do you like?
I don't know. I don't really like the ones that we were talking about where it's like you have to like do actions and stuff. I have a hard time with that. I always forget stuff. I'm too busy being drunk to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I like card game ones. I like ones where, you know, you have to like sit at a movie or a TV show and every time someone does something, then, you know, I like those a lot. But I do like the card game ones, like that's literally like a game in a box, you know?
Right.
I think those are fun.
Those can be really fun, or even just having a few beers with friends while you're playing a different game. So it's not exactly a drinking game like designed around drinking, but like everybody is drinking while you're playing a game.
That's
Makes
true.
sense. You know,
our D&D campaign used to just sit there and drink.
Right. So the one movie that I tried with my buddies was Big Lebowski, and to drink every time they said dude, and it didn't last long. I think
would not survive that.
Yeah, 40 minutes into the movie, and like he was like, I'm going to bed. His roommate passed out. I'm like, I'm finishing my coffee. Like
I actually tried that drinking game at a bar Lauren was bartending at while they were playing the movie, and I was dressed as the Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful. They had a big Lebowski night, and if you like dressed up, you got deals.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you had specials on the White Russians all night.
Yeah, we did. I forgot about that.
That was so good.
Yeah, Lebowski night. Lebowski.
It was really cool though because everyone was very comfortable. Like it was the most comfortable looking room out there ever. Everyone was in their robes, pajama pants, like
super chill. Yep.
It was amazing. I was like, this is great. Everyone was super loungy. We had it playing on the TVs and everything. So we had a good time with that.
Beautiful thing. I mean, I remember being a teenager and sneaking some booze into the Rocky Horror Picture Show and just getting, like, the first time I saw that movie, I was half wasted, so I didn't remember it. And then it was a couple of years before I went and saw it again. So that movie was really confusing to me the very first time I saw it. I was drinking warm rum too, with with no chaser.
Like Captain Morgan or like
Bacardi Light.
Ew,
straight from the bottle.
Oh no.
Right. I was not very skilled at the arts of drinking when I was a teenager. I think the first time I ever got drunk, I stole a bottle of Johnny Walker Red Scotch and didn't know what to mix it with, so I used orange juice, and that was a bad choice.
Oh
yeah.
no!
Oh, it was awful.
Why would you do that?
Because I was a 14-year-old kid and I didn't know any better. Yeah, anything would have been better than orange juice. It was worse than brushing your teeth and drinking orange juice, like right after one another. You know that taste? Yeah, it was worse than that.
Have you ever had to play a drinking game while drinking something terrible or that you hate?
Oh, yeah, something that you just don't want to be drinking.
And you have to drink a crap ton of it instead?
Yeah, no, that's no good.
Have you ever done that?
I'm trying to think of because I remember throwing up on Southern Comfort when I was 16 and never being able to drink that shit again. I can't even smell Southern Comfort to this day, and I just hate it. And
it does have a very specific scent to it.
I want to say we were playing some sort of stupid drinking game, but we might have just been hanging out in the back of somebody's car, drinking,
Right.
It's
a
just
fuzzy been drinking
night.
In general.
Fuzzy memory, that one it is. I do remember how much I hate Southern Comfort though, and ugh. Yeah, I had a regular customer. Good.
The beautiful thing is, anything can be it. We had a drinking game called Drink or Drink. It would be like, hey Remy, drink or drink.
Okay.
I guess I have to because somebody told me. Those are the rules.
That's a good drinking game though.
Yeah.
Because you know how people are always like, hey, the floor is lava. Instead, you're just drink or drink. It's just like when people ice you.
Yep.
You're just present them with an ice.
Is icing someone a drinking game?
I think it's technically a drinking game because anybody could just be like, no, fuck you. But instead, they accept the challenge. It's a challenge game. Every time Go ahead.
And with the whole lockdown situation that we just went through, a friend of mine on Facebook was going over to people's houses and icing them or just whatever kind of weird beer he could find for $1.80 at the gas station, and would put it on somebody's porch and take a picture of himself all masked up, dropping it off. And so I found out through mutual friends what his address was, and so I got him, and it was he got maybe 7 or 8, 10 people, I forget. He was going crazy. Well, and he's a bar manager, so it's all the people that he works with, all of his bartender friends, all of his barbacks, and all the waitresses that he works with. He's getting all these people. I'm like, somebody's gonna get him. So
there's this area next to my house where there's a bunch of townhouses. And these people were out there the other day in this giant circle, just sitting in lawn chairs, and they had a sign out at the road that said, "You honk, we drink."
Oh, that's awesome.
So I went down that road 4 times, just honking the fuck out of my horn. They were just woo! To watch them all drink together. It was probably 30 people, but they were in this giant circle.
That's great.
So it was pretty funny to watch them. And that's a drinking game. If you think everyone's you're being this is the rules, and you follow the rules, so it makes it a game.
That's exactly right. I like it.
Anything can be a fucking drinking game.
Oh, yeah. As long as you enjoy responsibly.
Oh.
What's one fat hen?
I keep trying to find responsibly, but I can't. I don't know anybody by the name of it. We're supposed to drink with them. I've tried it.
By responsibly, all I mean is don't fucking drive anywhere. Don't do anything that'll get you arrested. Don't do anything that'll hurt innocent people. Don't do anything stupid and hurt yourself. If you're in a safe place, you can get as drunk as you want and pass out there. Don't get in any fights. Don't be mean to people. Don't go on a mask rampage where you're screaming at some person for just doing their job.
Right. So our friend Jordan said, and it's his fiance, my girlfriend.
Hi, Jordan.
Played one fat hen with a half gallon of cheap ass plain vodka. It was terrible. What is one fat hen? Do you know? Jordan, if you're still watching, send us what one fat hen is supposed to be.
I think it's some kind of rhyming game.
I would like to know. Hold on, we'll let her type and everything and figure that out. And then Margaret Martis says, have you played the one I sent you for Christmas? Merry After Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it was one of those, like, again, anything to be a drink game. It was a cool little, like, Plinko.
Oh, what did you do?
Yeah, with some shots. You just have some shots lined up underneath, drop the Plinko chip.
That's kind of cool, actually. I'd probably play that.
Yeah,
so it's just like random shots, and then you do Plinko into it, and then that's the one you
can have, like, pickle juice, 151.
Yeah.
At the last bar I worked at, we had mystery shots, and we had like 10 bottles that just had, like, they were labeled 1 through 10, and everyone come up. It was $2, and you just pick a number. We can't tell you anything about it. We pour it, and you have to drink it. And people were buying the crap out of them. There were some really good things in there. Like, we put some pretty good liquor in there, and then the rest of it was like stuff that we were trying to get rid of, like the Captain Morgan pumpkin spice, just like cheap bottles that were like, gotta get rid of this Malort.
Speaking of cheap bottles of good stuff, so I went to a little barbecue this weekend, and Smirnoff makes a little bomb pop. It's so tasty. Just stick it in the freezer, and it's an instant shot right from the bottle. Like, tastes just like a bomb pop. Reminds me of childhood with a little bit of booze at it. That's fun stuff. I like those ones where it's like, it's a pre-mixed in a bottle. All you got to do is chill it, and you're good.
Like, they have like the margarita ones that are like pre-mixed. Jack and I went and got, you know, those like, they're like frozen, or what is it called? Dailies?
Yes.
The Dailies frozen things. Okay, I remembered loving them when I was younger, and then Jack and I went out and like got some, and we started drinking them, and both of us looked over at each other like, this is the most disgusting. Why
You're not doing it
did
right.
I get this?
You're not doing it right.
Okay, but in Dailies' defense, they have like mudslide and caramel milkshake ones that are really good, and they're really strong.
So there you go.
Frozen,
you guys just picked the wrong kind.
Okay. Yeah. No, what you do is you add tequila.
No,
I don't drink tequila. You add tequila to
no
that.
matter what.
You add tequila
because
to
they have like Bahama
it's
Mama.
So it's so good.
You wouldn't be able to add tequila to the mudslide ones, the creamy ones.
Probably not.
Maybe add vodka, but they taste like there's a fuck ton of liquor in them. Like, they're really strong. So I wouldn't even need to add anything. Maybe tequila would change the flavor enough that it would be delicious, but I don't know. Not for the creamy ones. Those are the only ones I like now.
We've been drinking the cherry limeade ones, and that's already one of my favorite things. So
they make those like, they're like popsicles now. They're like boozy popsicles.
Everybody's them too.
And there's a billion of them now, and you can go get them at like Costco and Sam's Club and stuff. They have a really good one. And you get like 80 of them in a pouch or whatever, and they're delicious.
Good stuff. How come we haven't come up with our own like brands? We're bartenders. We could make something like that.
Okay, but what would we come up with that's any different? We'd have to have something. We should do it with a game on the back of it that you play. Yes. So it's like your own liquor thing, and it has a game attached to it, and each one is like random.
And you sell it in or something. You sell it in a case of 24, so it's like a party pack ready to go.
Right. And then you can keep the little things to play games with them later.
Perfect. The packaging is part of the game board.
I already made this for us. We're ready to go. We just have to put some games on it, sell them off. What would we call it?
Go to our Kickstarter.
I don't know. We need to go on. we need to go on Shark Tank and get Mark Cuban to like give us $1 billion to figure it out.
Someone is writing this down as we speak.
I'm
doing it before us right now.
One of our many followers here at Tales from the Barside is gonna like use our scheme and get rich quick because they've got a half an hour jump on us. Like they're not gonna be able to figure out all the specs on this thing for another half an hour till their show's over.
Joke's on them.
Joke's on
feeling it to myself right now.
Hey, speaking of booze companies that I like, though, I know that like they're not an official sponsor of ours or anything like that, but shout out to Glenfiddich for last week's episode, sending us some booze, giving us, they basically like put a softball over the plate with our guests, and we're like, here, interview these guys. Such a fun time, such classy people, and so the William Grant and Sons Glenfiddich team, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Glenfiddich. We love you.
I'm going to have a little bit.
I'm not drinking it right now, but it's on my...
I'll drink to you. It was a good episode.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, we can cheers in real life.
Cheers in real life. I'm cheersing you in real life, just virtually.
Okay, so Jordan answered our question about one fat hen, and I'm just going to read it exactly the way that she said it, okay? It says, it's a say after me game. Start with 1, the 1 and 2, and so on. 1 fat hen, couple of duck, 3 brown bear, 4 running hare, 5 fat fickle females sitting, sipping scotch, 6 simple Simons. I'm not reading all of that. Each time you screw up, you take another shot, so it's dangerous, obviously, because I started on number 6, and I was like, screw this, I can't do it.
It's like the 12 Days of Christmas song. It's like the 12 Days of Christmas, but with weird lyrics.
Exactly, only with drinking.
So, but this is a good lead into one of the things I wanted to say. You mentioned pass out, where it's safe, right?
Yeah.
So there's a game called Pass Out, and it is one of those board game type deals.
Yeah.
So the board looks like a Monopoly board.
Okay.
It's got that design. Instead of jail, it's bar. And the problem, we played this game quite a bit in our youth, me and all the boys. We have not played it much now that we're all low 30s. It's rough. It's a war.
Yeah.
And with what Jordan's saying with that kind of tongue twister, the whole point of the game is to get around the board. You get around the board, you get a pink elephant card, and it's got a tongue twister on it. And all you got to do is say it.
Yep.
Sally sells she shells by the seashore.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. I haven't been drinking that much, but every spot on the board is red, take a drink, blue, take a drink. Everybody drink. Everybody light up. We were so mean with this game that we ended up making a rule that you couldn't take a smoke break until somebody hit everybody light up. There was cards that go directly to bar, kind of like Monopoly. And a great story from this. We just played this maybe 3 years ago. And my cousin Ian, we bought the board and we had a blank card. So we were like, oh, we can make something up. Yes. We wrote, and I totally stole this from Sonny in Philadelphia. We just wrote on it, you must eat this card.
Did someone do it?
Oh, my cousin Ian, we put that 04 tuna playing in the background, and he's
actually eating the card.
Oh, he ate the whole damn thing too. I was pretty impressed. And it's that hard cardboard.
Yeah,
cardboard,
the waxy coating on it.
Cardboard. But
there was. Ate it?
Oh, he ate the whole damn thing.
thing.
The whole damn thing. I'll show you the video as soon as we're done with this.
No. Okay, so my awesome boyfriend just messaged me to let us know about our idea with the games on the packaging.
Yeah.
Said that this is for the state of Michigan. It says a license shall not participate in or sponsor any contest that requires the use or consumption of alcoholic liquor or features alcoholic liquor as a prize in connection with a contest. So it might actually be an issue because we're selling the liquor with the game.
Gotcha.
But maybe we should look into it. I think it's a good idea.
I mean, to me, it sounds like he's quoting the stuff for establishments. So you're not allowed to.
Right.
When I
this
hosted
is just what he
trivia,
sent me and said that this might be an issue with the packaged games on beer alcohol here in Michigan. That's all. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can't tie a game into any kind of alcohol sales. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, if you go to Spencer's, they have a ton of them there.
But they don't sell the booze.
But they're not sold with
booze.
booze.
To drink
right.
booze on it.
Booze sold separately. You cannot attach a game.
Booze with it on there, then that would be an issue. But if we just sold.
Basically, it's because the government doesn't want to encourage drinking games like we are here on Tales from the Barside.
But we are encouraging it, though. We
you,
are really
government.
doing it. Please play drinking games.
What else are we going to do?
Exactly.
Everybody in the service industry is either got their hours cut or they're still not working.
Just sitting at home.
Yep.
Playing drinking games. Talking on podcasts.
I got a call back this week. Hey, we're finally ready to open. I was like, yeah, sorry, not interested. I'm good. All set for right now.
Yeah, we with that mentioned real quick, Jordan, we had her on the show December Was
Yeah,
that
I think it was
November?
November.
Yeah, Jordan
December.
and I were on. We were talking about running karaoke.
Yep.
And like we're back up and running at some establishments, and it is cool the extra lengths that they've gone to sterilize the equipment and everything. And
Right.
The microphone gets wiped down in between singers. We've been spraying people's hands with hand sanitizer before they sing. So it's interesting seeing the new landscape. Just last week you guys were talking like it's going to be a little bit before things are back to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
But it's not too different out there, but it is. I don't know. I like going to dive bars, so.
It's definitely not what it used to be, for sure.
Right.
And you can't go and play beer pong.
No.
Oh my God, we used to play beer pong with the beer in the cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember
at a
doing
bar?
that? No, not at a bar.
No,
It was
not
in
at
the
a bar,
garage.
like in
and
somebody's
it was just
basement.
so gross.
Right. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
gross.
the beer in the cups is like the worst idea ever.
No, it's so
There's always
dumb.
somebody like blowing off one of the ping pong balls.
Yep.
Right. Or then you've got like the one cup with water in it for rinsing the ball, like ostensibly. Like,
yeah, because that's gonna help.
It's not getting clean.
Right.
Yeah.
All the debris
Like,
is
that's
just
just
sitting at the
alcohol.
top, not even like sinking to the bottom. So you're just on dunking it in the same shit.
No, we always
Everyone's
filled
fingers
them up.
going in it.
I always filled them up with water and then had my beer in a separate glass. Thank you very much. I'm not drinking
that was
anything
smart.
that falls
I
on
was a
floating.
young kid once,
Yeah.
and I'm still incredibly stupid. But.
Yeah, I mean, I swam in the Rouge River when I was a kid.
Thanks, bud.
I know I've done some stupid things with playing drinking games and stuff, but
Oh, for sure.
I was there one time when my friend was playing beer pong, and will you lay down, please? He was playing beer. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He was playing beer pong, and he threw the pong, and it landed in between, like the four glasses touching each other. It was like in that little slot there, and we were
Crazy.
like, "It's touching all four rims. Does that mean you have to drink all four beers, or all three beers, or whatever it was?"
No. I have had this problem before myself. The whole point is to get the ball in the cup.
Right.
Okay.
Right? If it's not in the cup, it's not in the cup.
Correct.
It is very impressive when that happens. I have seen it before myself.
Like a hanging Chad.
Yep.
Chad.
Wait.
Oh, from the election of 2000 when the little hanging Chads became. It's just an old dumb political joke. Sorry.
That went right over my head. I had no clue what you were talking about. Sorry.
No, when I'll explain real quick. When Bush and Gore were going against each other for the presidential nomination, and in Florida they had to do a recount, and they were like, "Well, we can't tell because there's some hanging Chads on some of these ballots, so we don't know if we should count it or not." It wasn't punched all the way through. It was a hanging Chad.
Hanging Chads.
Hanging Chads. If you ever hear that, now you know what they're talking
Listen, I've always hated a Chad, that's for sure.
about.
Nobody likes a Chad.
I've got an ex-girlfriend who had an ex-boyfriend named Chad, and he was a douche. So there you go.
If your name is Chad and you're a fan of the show, I apologize.
We're sorry.
We're sorry, Chads. I'm sure there's
Maybe
some good
just
ones
change
out
your
there.
name.
Unless you're my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, then you can go fuck yourself.
So I actually know a girl, and I won't say names or anything like that, but she worked at a bar over near where I work at. And they had like the Facebook group, like messenger group that they all like would share their schedules and try and cover shifts and stuff like that on. And she posted in it, like anybody that wants my shifts can have them. I quit, and she was like, I miss, hanging out with all of you. I'm going to miss all of you guys. At the very bottom, it said, except for you, manager's name, you're a cunt.
Oh, nice. Love it.
I hope she didn't see this.
I'm going to go ahead and burn this bridge and not give one single solitary fuck. Sometimes a manager just like pushes you to that point in this industry to where you have to go off on them and do something, outside of your normal character. Sometimes you're just pushed to the brink, like,
I will ask if you saw what was happening at Sidetracks in Ann Arbor.
You mean Ipsy?
Oh yeah, Ipsy, yeah.
No, I mean, I've been to that bar a bunch of times. It's been years, but
somebody posted saying that like basically they were fired because they were concerned about somebody that tested positive for COVID, and then it
right.
like launched this entire thing with like people that the managers ended up saying that they weren't allowed to eat on their shifts anymore. They were like, well, what if we're closing, or what if we're working a double? And they're like, no eating, no drinking, so they're not allowed to have water, they're not allowed to eat. It's just like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Yeah. And now they're like posting the screenshot, so it was pretty fun to watch that.
That's fun.
I love trash. I love watching mess. It's like, I see that stuff and I read all 300 comments. I know all of them because I'm just that person.
Yeah.
Whatever though.
The last month it was Imperial, and now so this month it's Sidetracks, and you know, the basic thing is, for every, you know, really good restaurant or bar that's out there that's like run by cool people and owned by hardworking people and just like is a good kind of family place to work, there's a dozen places that are run by shitheads and just jerks and like people who have no business owning a bar or restaurant, you know, get into it for the wrong reasons or just act like power mad assholes once they do own a place, you know.
Right.
There's seriously, I've worked in this industry for 20 years, and for every one good place, there's a dozen bad ones. That's just the way it is.
Yep, it's true. But it's cancel culture right now, so everyone's getting called out. So don't be doing some crazy shit. Don't be doing some crazy shit that people are going to be upset about. Don't do it.
Or if you've been doing crazy shit for the last 20 years, like, I hope you got deep pockets and you're ready to pay some people a little bit of hush money.
So our friend Patrick said, my wife's ex is a Chad too, and he's a douche. So
there you go.
Yep, we're validated.
Love it. See?
Listeners are responding.
I think Chad is honestly like the male version of Karen's. That's what I would go
It's
with.
pretty close.
Yeah,
I
Chad.
think that, but I read that really the male version of a Karen is actually a Kyle.
No. Kyle punches holes in drywall.
Okay, no, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyle's
right.
are good for
That's
punching holes in drywall.
Somebody else said it was like another K name, and I was like, oh, I always thought that Chads were, but then somebody told me that Chad actually is like your like dude bro, like, you know, fraternity brother, you know.
I have heard that before.
That's a Chad. So a Chad and a Karen, I guess they could be, but I feel like there's got to be something else for that, for a male Karen.
I want to say like your stereotypical name for the dude bro frat guy is Chip instead of Chad.
Chip,
yeah.
Or
Chip
like
or Chet. Yeah, Chip or Chat or something like like rich people
Chaz.
hit me.
Chaz.
Yeah. Chaz. Not Chad.
Well, you know what? I think I can agree with that. That's fine. We're gonna start making that a thing, just so you know.
You don't send your kid to like an Ivy League school that costs a lot of money and name him Chad. Like, you definitely name him Chaz, or something that they can shorten to Chaz, but you wouldn't just name him Chad. I don't know. We're going off on people's names now. We've completely run off the rails.
But we did talk about college frat people, and you know what they're really good at?
Drinking games. Exactly.
Oh my God, I got so many.
So one of the ones that me and the guys like to play, a chill one. You ever sit around a campfire and do the name game?
The name game. Everybody loves the name game.
The name game is you pick a topic. Celebrities is an easy one.
Yeah.
Somebody starts and they would say like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then you would have to say the last name. The first initial of the last name has to start it. So Schwarzenegger, you could say like Sean Penn.
Right.
And you just have to keep going around in a circle like that.
And then from Sean Penn, you might go to like Paula Abdul. And then from Paula Abdul,
okay, so it's just celebrities or whatever it is that you choose a category.
Cartoon characters.
Okay, like the first letter of the last name becomes the first letter of the first name.
Okay, so my friend Riku said that it's Kyle. Kyle is the name of a Karen, a male Karen.
Now, Kyle's punch holes in drywall. Right.
I still want to do the research.
Fight the manager. Sorry.
And then somebody else said Ken.
But with that, also, so you said Paula Abdul. If I wanted to really screw with you, I could say like Andreas Athanasiou. He is a Red Wing. and then that's going to reverse the order.
Who?
Andreas Athanasiou. He's a hockey player. He's a famous hockey player.
He is a famous hockey player in Detroit.
He was pretty good when the Wings are still not doing great. I miss the Wings.
I miss the Wings.
It's summertime. They wouldn't be playing right now anyways.
Yeah, and another great thing about the drinking games, like you can sit around a campfire and, like you were saying, you don't really care for the activities one. Sit around a campfire and just start naming off names.
And it has to start with the ending letter?
Yeah.
Of the person before? Okay.
Yep. That's it.
But
if you have a double up, then it reverses the order.
Oh.
If
you can't think of one, you drink.
So a variation of that game that I like to play with my friends, that I used to like to play with my friends, is, hey, you'll say, hey, you remember that one movie? And then you purposely name an actor that wasn't in that specific movie. And then somebody else goes, no. I think what you're thinking of is a different movie that had the wrong actor in it. And then you can be like, yeah. And then you just start taking it on different levels. It's like, so you come up with a movie and you're like, you know, that one with this guy in it, and they weren't in it. And they're like, no, you're thinking of this movie and it's got somebody else wrong in it. Just wrong answers only kind of a game.
Okay, I get down for that. I think
it's
I can
really
do that.
fun.
It's harder than you think to do wrong answers only, because if you know the right answer, you're just like, oh, I want to say that so bad.
So like that movie, The Shining with Justin Timberlake.
Exactly like that. And you get creative with it. You get funny with it. Like, no. You're thinking of something else.
That's hilarious. I've never done one like that, but I would.
So we also played another game. We played a fun game. It wasn't exactly a drinking game, although we were drinking, where we passed around notebooks and everybody like wrote a story.
Sentences.
God, I love that.
That's
I took pictures of
not a drinking game.
I took pictures of all of our answers that night because it was so funny. And I'm like, we're going to forget this, but someday I'm going to bring it up again. And I've got the pictures on my phone of what we all wrote. And it was silly.
How we all had to have our own notebooks, and there was like 7 of us.
So what these guys are talking about, worldwide internets. So we have this game where you get a notebook, you got a pen, everybody in the group has one, you sit in a circle, you title the page whatever the hell you want, you write the first sentence and you pass it to the left. And everybody does this until you fill out an entire notebook page. And then you get together and you all read the stories together.
You're allowed to read the sentence before yours, and that's it. You can't read any of the other sentences before that. You can only read the one right before yours and then finish that thought.
Yes, that is essential to the game, and what makes it so fun and so funny is you only read the sentence that was written directly before you. So you're constantly getting a sentence from the same person, but the entire story has been moved around so much that it's wacky and zany and lots of fun. I didn't understand it at first.
Game.
I thought you were supposed to read the whole thing at first, and everybody's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
The sanctity of the game.
I misunderstood, and then I understood by the end why it was like that. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, because you have to be able to like just come up with something on a whim that doesn't necessarily connect with everything else. Just connect with the one thing before it.
But that's only in a weird roundabout way. Yes.
Exactly. Those games are the best. You get the best of all of the worlds because you get to be like super creative. You get to do something that is pertaining to you that you think the next person is going to find funny and nobody else is going to see it.
Right.
You know? And then afterwards, when you're all reading all the stories again, they are so funny and like outrageous. And some of them end up like kind of making sense. Like that would be an actual thing that happens. Like,
right.
And they don't know what the other person wrote.
This is definitely a zany story, but like it's a plausible story.
Take this to Hollywood, sell it, make a lot of money.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Make a movie. Think about it. Like pitching any kind of movie at all would just be ridiculous.
Cowboys versus aliens.
Right. Imagine being in a room pitching that to somebody.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be so stupid.
Yeah, I would love to do
all right, now check it out.
Movie pitch. I that's like a dream of mine is to someday pitch a really ridiculously stupid movie.
It'll probably get made.
So I mean, somebody made Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you know,
yeah.
And it like and it became a cult hit. Somebody made a lot of dumb movies out there.
There's a lot of movies out there where I'm like, how did this get made?
Yeah.
But also, why is it good?
Somebody had an idea.
Why am I okay with it being made? But yeah, you can turn any of those.
Is it still an acceptable dream to like want to become so rich that you can buy your own private island, or has Epstein like ruined that for everybody now? Like, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Wow, that went somewhere.
I'm just saying, like, how cool would it be to like be so rich that you have your own private island, and you're like, man, everybody's just gonna think I'm some perv like Epstein. Like, that's not cool.
That's what your go-to is like, this is definitely Epstein style.
That's just what it just popped into my head because I was thinking about like pitching a movie and becoming like, super wealthy and famous. And I suppose if you pitched like 50 movies that were like blockbuster hits, that would probably work. But
or a movie where like you own your own private island and every underage girl that tries to come on, you have to chase them away. Like, no, you're not coming here. You're not coming to this island.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I wouldn't be interested. Not at all. Like, you definitely have to be old enough to drink.
You have to take them to the kid zone.
Like, even 23 right now, 23 is too young. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not interested.
It's all too young.
Yeah, it's all too young. 40 is too young for me now.
It's all too young. I'm just like, anybody older than me.
Yep. You gotta be older than me. You could definitely play some crazy drinking games on your own private island though, like whatever you wanted to.
Just feel like anytime. Oh man, I can't even think of anything. I started thinking of something and I was like, don't say that. So I'm not going to. Just don't. We're gonna have a lot of hate mail.
Like, okay, so like drinking games still, like we have like, again, what constitutes a game? There's a rule. We have what's called the shot cock at my house. It's it's Hey from Moana. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a plush of him with mechanics in it that when you push its wing, it just starts screaming and it sounds like it's screaming shot. So if anybody in our house pushes that button, we all meet at the bar for shots.
I like it.
The shot cock. So is that a game or a tradition? I don't know. There's rules.
It's a game.
A little bit of both.
It's a game. There's rules and people follow the rules. And it's like an unwritten thing. It's just like when, okay, I'm sure everyone here has heard of the game. You're always playing it. And you all lost. But you're always playing it forever. And as soon as someone brings it up and you remember it, then you lose. And then you start back over, right? So it's like, that's just an unwritten thing. You just, everyone is playing it all the time. If there's a rule and you follow the rule, it's game. That's what I think. It's game.
I'm with it.
A tradition, sure, but I feel like, no, it's more like a game.
Yes.
Because it can happen unlimited amount of times and it's not set at a certain time.
I'm for it. Because we also have another one. We're working on our new album, Drag Saw, little plug for those guys. And we have a song on that called Done. And every time we have said the word done, if we have booze in our hand, we take a drink.
There you go.
Like, oh, you said the magic word.
Today's
That's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Like, I'm done recording vocals for Done. Shit.
He said the secret word of the day.
Done with it.
Drink.
It's drink.
Oh, shit.
I know we are running out of time.
So I got to do a quick another plug, if that's cool with you guys.
Absolutely. What do you think we brought you on here for?
The
Talk
world,
about drinking games?
The world is crazy. I get that. And unfortunately, has really put a damper on live music. But if you go to the Drag Saw page, that's Drag Saw Sucks on Facebook, just look up Drag Saw. You can find us. You'll find that we are doing kind of a speakeasy event at the Bacchus Social Club. That's going to be August 15th. You should really come check us out. Free camping. You can get all the details there. You can message Drag Saw or any of the members, and we'll let you know what's up.
Hell yeah. Rock and roll and camping.
Live music is not dead.
Is there going to be booze involved?
Oh, I have literally hurt myself every time at Bacchus. because I'm too drunk. And it's condoned.
Awesome.
It's all
Everybody
right
Yeah.
go to that page, check it out. Lauren, where can people send their questions and queries and concerns? Where can they send their hate mail?
We've actually had one email come through. I read it. We're going to address it next week.
Sweet.
Yes. But we need more. We need more. So if you have stories, things you want to tell us about your time, hanging out, going to, working at, being a, let's say, just a fucking patron or, a door girl or whatever, at a bar, in the service industry in general, send us your stories at barsidetales@gmail.com.
Oh my God, send us some hate mail. I would love that.
Yeah, send us,
you guys
literally
suck.
anything.
You guys are awful.
Please.
Just make fun of us. Rip us to shreds. Remember when roast me was a big thing a couple of months ago? Everybody wanted to get roasted.
Still a big thing.
Yeah.
Because people want to get roasted until they get roasted.
Some people can handle it.
Some people can.
I never asked to get roasted, so that lets you know how I feel about it.
Yeah, same.
My fragile ego could not handle it, so please don't roast me. But do send us some mail. We would love to have some mail. I think what happened was we never made stickers, so we need to make stickers.
We need to do that.
Yeah, we were going to give stickers away to people. Well, what happened was the pandemic happened, and so we didn't have any money for stickers. Sorry. Everybody, now there's a change shortage, so we can't turn in all of our change to have stickers made out of that. I don't know. Send us your funny stuff.
People love stickers.
Yeah, they
do. People do love stickers.
And honestly, even I guess to plug Ricky, I'm sorry that we ruined your last podcast.
Sorry, buddy.
But he's over on Rocks 100 on Facebook, and he's doing, he's on every week, a couple times a week, doing top 5, all local music. People go in, but he's got hoodies and everything, and if you go to a local, concert, you will see those hoodies nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
So, even hoodies is a good idea. You guys got a cool ass logo.
Yeah, we do.
I bought a local T-shirt today, and it came with a fat slap too. So I got me a nice sticker with it. Got to support the local. Got to do all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I think we've taken up enough of your time, Andy. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us all the good drinking game stories that you've got.
But we haven't even scratched the surface.
We have not. But we got to get together. We got to get together and play some drinking games again soon. Let's do that. Let's make it happen. We need a fire, damn it. Everybody loves a good fire.
Yep. I do.
All right, so this has been a weird wrap. We're just gonna end the show on a funny note like that.
We love you guys.
See you next week.